course, they start doing all that noise when I am trying to start stream. I hope that y'all are having an amazing day today. Welcome in everybody that is new here, that does not know who I am, that isn't on my email list. If you are catching this a little later on YouTube and etc., make sure you check out all my past lives. Hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. I'm here and supporting you and understanding what is going on with our bodies and making those connections between inflammation and insulin resistance, and knowing how your habits and why your habits are driving your health downwards, and understanding so that we can change the process, we can change our habit patterns. But first, we have to understand how to tackle the habits that we have to release the issues that we're having. So today we're going to be talking about the issue of us having those energy crashes, those spikes, and the inflammation that is coming from our habits and making those connections. Hold on one second, let me check that. I hate to pause it at the start, but let me see if they're gonna move. It's like a kid riding their skateboard or something. So I thought it was like something like a big truck or something. And some kids like, I don't think y'all probably can pick up that audio. So I think the first one was a truck. So that's what I was hearing. So if you are today feeling like your body is inflamed and that you truly or fully do not understand why or what's going on, and you're trying to find the solution, right? And you just cannot find that set solution yet. Today I want to help you be able to not only deal with your energy crashes, understand where they're coming from, and be able to pinpoint so that we can change and we can shift by forming new habits. Also understanding why those cravings are strong and why they're lasting so long, so that we can gain that control back and understand why we've been lacking that. Understand why our stomach or our weight gain and our stomach is bloating and the puffiness, where it's stemming from. Really diving deeper into how we can shift our weight by understanding what our body's symptoms are meaning, and knowing why labs are rising for you. Because if you've been developing insulin resistance and you've been either told that you have to watch it, manage it, or that they are looking to put you on prescriptions so that way you don't develop diabetes, this is not random. This is a sign of inflammation, and that inflammation is making your insulin suffer and vice versa. They are counteracting with each other, and the connection hasn't been made of the fact that both of them go hand in hand and how we are able to reverse these issues. And so today I want to make it very, very clear of how we can get to the space of reversing them and why we've gotten to this point, because a lot of people's day-to-day experience currently right now is them waking up feeling tired, depending on caffeine and coffee, having to have those sugary snacks to get through the day, right? Skipping meals like breakfast, for example, to fast and do it effectively, or skipping through their day and saying, okay, I'm only going to eat lunch or I'm only going to eat dinner today, and not setting their body up for a correct fast. So their fasting insulin is not a good type of insulin. It's not a healthy insulin that is going to help them be able to get through their day, but instead their fasting insulin is too high. And so then in return, you're feeling sluggish, you're getting those headaches, right? You're getting hangry. You're having all of those negative side effects that come when you do not set your body up for success when it comes to you restricting or taking away food for a certain amount of time, right? Because we all have heard about like intermittent fasting and fasting practices, but what we're not taught is that when you don't have a stable nutrition in your life on a day-to-day basis, and you think that you're going to skip a meal into losing weight and being healthy, and yes, that whole fasting chart and the dynamics of what happens between 8 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 72 hours, and etc., right, is something that realistically happens in a healthy body. When you already have an unhealthy body full of unhealthy habits that are not being supported, you're only doing your body a disservice by not eating anything. And so whether you're eating the junk or you're fasting your way to being healthy, you're still not using you're not using the energy that you're giving by the foods, or you're not using your body's fasting abilities correctly to support yourself. And so when we deal with the issue of the imbalance in our food or imbalance in our habits, our body takes a toll from that. Our body struggles to support itself. When you have those issues of constantly being in a cortisol high space, not enough nutrition, and then you wake up and repeat the same steps every single day. This causes a highly inflammatory lifestyle, and this cycle in this inflammatory space is making your blood sugar unstable, and this is making you pay in real time with these symptoms that you're having, what you're experiencing day to day. And so let's simplify the process so that we can understand the connection between inflammation and your insulin, right? So when your blood sugar spikes repeatedly, so day to day with the habits that you have, the times that you eat during the day or snacks and etc., right? Insulin is going to rise repeatedly. And so when you don't have stabilizers in your food and you're constantly raising your insulin, you're constantly spiking your blood sugar, you are going to have a state of stress that is happening within the body, aka cortisol, right? High cortisol. We've all heard high cortisol. Balance your cortisol or stabilize your cortisol or lower your cortisol, right? I've been talking about stabilizing your cortisol, I think all throughout last year, I want to say. So if you have missed that live, if you want to catch more of that live, please go check that out on YouTube. It is posted. Plenty of them. All of my past lives are posted. Thank you guys for the likes here on TikTok. Please keep tapping up the screen. I really do appreciate you. So when the body is in a stressed out state, when you are having all this cortisol pumped out and you are not given what it needs sufficiently to have enough nutrients through the day, nor to be supported throughout the day, and instead it feels uncomfortable, it feels unsafe, it feels like you're not hearing it, you're not listening, you do realize that this causes inflammation to increase as well, because now you have this stressed out state from this high cortisol, which is going to cause a cause it to counter interact with all your other organs. And so this is going to go deeper. This is going to cause more issues with your body. And so now inflammation is high and your cells are stopped responding well to insulin. And guess what? Now you have developed insulin resistance because the glucose is staying in your bloodstream longer, aka getting recycled, not being used and released. And then insulin is having to work harder to overcompensate, to try to figure out how can we keep eating all these crappy sugars knowing this is not helping us out. And then it keeps a continuous cycle that intensifies itself over the years, which aka develops diabetes. It's an endless loop. And so when you don't break the pattern habits that you have to stabilize your blood sugar and understand how you were here, you are going to consistently have inflammation that worsens itself and insulin resistant symptoms like being tired and fatigued all the time, bloated, being puffy, joint discomfort, brain fog, fatigue in general. Having those abdominal weight gain that you haven't figured out how to get rid of, that is kind of sticking with you and you're trying to figure out why. Constant hunger, difficulty losing weight, right? And it's all because you haven't changed your habits. Instead, you're working against your body's natural rhythm. And so it's causing your body to respond incorrectly. But it's rather giving you signals, let me rephrase that, than responding incorrectly, but rather it's giving you signals and you're not giving it the habits that allow your body to trust you to give you the response that you were looking for and that you've been seeking for. And so when you shift away from that and start working with your body, with your own biology, with your own design, especially us women who don't have a system set up to structure our lifestyle, but instead throws us into chaos and throws our body into high cortisol, right? When we have that response that is correct, what our body is looking for, what it needs, it starts to give back to us. And it's going to show you how you are doing correct by lowering your inflammation, by stabilizing your blood sugar, by giving you energy when you wake up, by allowing you to lose that excess weight that you haven't been able to lose over the years. Thank you guys for tapping up the screen. I really appreciate it. And this is one space that is never going to help you be able to fix inflammation and insulin resistance. And that one space is diet culture. Diet culture is not set up to give you long-term sustainable success. It is set up to give you quick fixes, quick, fast solutions that are not sustainable. Something that is going to make you feel good right now. And then it's going to have you later on confused of why it didn't work and why it didn't stick, so that you try something else, right? And most women respond to them having these symptoms of bloating and weight gain and not feeling like themselves in their body as eating less and cutting out more, right? We're told to cut carbs, skip meals, and all of this does is raise your cortisol. And then that cortisol spike is going to raise your glucose, and that glucose is going to be recycled through the body, and then it's going to have that insulin spike. So it's a continuous cycle of you constantly putting your body in a disarray. And so extreme restriction causes metabolic stress. That metabolic stress is fueling inflammation. And so, do you see the connection of why we have been thrown off so bad? Why we haven't been able to fix this inflammation or to have a body that has energy when we wake up, to feel like ourselves? Or why you feel stuck when every time you do a diet and it either doesn't work because either you quit or you get tired of eating healthy salads and then you go to a sweet sugary snack and then by next week you're not eating anything healthy anymore, or that it's just not sustainable to eat a diet that is so bland, that is so restrictive, that you hate. It is because you haven't shaped your habits to change your view on what healthy eating and a healthy lifestyle looks like. Because it's not just salads and calorie counting and cutting out carbs. It's you understanding eating a rainbow plate is the most efficient way. You having a full meal is you being on your health journey. You eating a real meal that keeps you filled is you on your health journey, not starving yourself into being healthy. Understanding that everything changes when you understand how your metabolism works and how your cycle syncing works for your body as a woman, and how you should be eating for your cycle phases. Because it responds, your body responds to your habits. So if it's not responding the correct way that you would like it to, or it's not seeming like it's responding the correct way you want it to, you have to look at your habits and what is causing these issues. Get to the roots of what's happening and why it's happening. Asking yourself why every single day you are waking up with the same symptoms. Ask yourself what foods you ate yesterday to make you so sleepy today. Ask yourself what nutrition you are lacking that is causing you to be so tired all the time. Because sometimes it's just as simple as changing out a food or changing out a category of foods, not cutting out and restricting, but understanding that things have additives, things have fillers. Some things don't agree with your body the right way during certain times of your cycle. And so it's about shifting. Just like if you don't do this, you should know. You should be eating with the seasons of the earth. Every winter, there are winter fruits, there are winter vegetables. Every summer, there are summer fruits, there are summer vegetables, and every season in between, right? We know them because we love them when they come into season. Watermelon, for example. I love me some watermelon. I'm definitely like a watermelon me down during the summertime because all I have to do is juice some watermelon and I have fresh juice for a couple of weeks because watermelons make a lot of juice. It's basically just water, right? And so we know what those are. We crave them during the times, but yet we fight our body and we go get watermelon Jolly Ranchers. When your body is really craving watermelon itself, you were like, "Ooh, watermelon Jolly Ranchers sound good," because that's what you've trained your body to crave, to want. But in reality, you should be eating that watermelon during the summertime to give you that refreshment, to give your body what it's asking for, that refresher, that cleanse, that natural H3O of water that comes from fruits, that gives you hydration on a cellular level, right? And so when you have these daily habits that determine your blood sugar patterns, your insulin response, your inflammatory load, your energy production, and your hormonal balance, and you understand how important it is because of food, how it impacts these, you'll see why quick fixes and those quick band-aid solutions do not work, like supplements and diet culture. They don't sustain your health. Structure keeps you in a healthy space that allows you to have habits that supports your body in total and whole. And so you have to understand the value in eating more whole foods, eating more nutrient rich foods, eating a rainbow plate, because it's not just about, oh, I have to eat this for my blood sugar, or I want to lose 20 pounds, so I have to eat this, or that I want a completely anti-inflammatory diet so I can go on a vacation, right? But it's you understanding that you have to have the steps that correct your metabolism, that allows your body to feel safe, that does not raise and spike your cortisol. And so this is what I help women implement. We implement structure in the space of not only my program, but also in my one-on-ones, is giving you that structure by getting to the root cause that stabilizes your energy, that helps your cravings decrease, that helps your bloating reduce, helps your weight balance, gives you that focus that is going to allow you to not have brain fog and fatigue anymore, and gives you that confidence to, if you want to lose those 20 pounds, you're going to do that. If you need to gain weight in a healthy lifestyle, you can do that. It's a matter of giving your body what it needs so that it can correct whatever is going on with your symptoms. Because it's not about you doing more and having more diet plans or having more restriction in your life. It's about you allowing your body to do its natural design, which is to heal itself, which is to reverse the things that you have caused with your habits. We are taught these at a very, very young age, but we are never taught how to fix the problem. And so I'm here to help you fix the problem. And this is why I created my metabolic reversal method, because you don't need to wait until you have diabetes to sit here and say, well, now I have to figure out how to compensate for my insulin resistance and diabetes. But sit here and realize that these symptoms that you are having is a step towards diabetes, and you don't want to be there, and you're ready to change your path. And so we're going to have a restoration protocol during that time of us in that program that is going to help you be able to understand your metabolism. It's going to stabilize your blood sugar with daily habits, help you be able to lower your insulin patterns using stabilizers with food, having your body reduce its inflammation with the foods that you are eating. Allow your body to build sustainable habit, or allow yourself to build sustainable habits so that your body trusts you, allows your subconscious and conscious to make conscious decisions to help you during this process instead of hurt you during the process. For instance, those cravings of sugar and all the other sweet fried things that you want to eat during the time of diets, that doesn't happen when you have a nutritionist meal that allows you to get every single nutrient that you need. You should be getting on a regular daily basis, creating that long-term metabolic health. Because if you are somebody who craves a whole lot of salt or a whole lot of sugar, you are lacking nutrients. And a lot of the times we as women are told it's because we have a cycle. And so we're diminishing all the nutrients when we release, right? But a lot of the times it's not because of the release itself, but it's because of the steps that we've taken over the month before we menstruated. We're not helping us build up our nutrients, our minerals, our vitamins. And so we're lacking. We have a deficiency. And it shows up as iron deficiency, right? And so we're told, since you lose a lot of blood during the time of your menstruation, yes, you're going to be iron deficient. That's normal. You might be anemic. Just take an iron pill. But what they're not telling you is you're lacking a number of minerals and vitamins in your food, because our food doesn't have a lot of nutrition anymore. And so you need to be eating more fruits and vegetables before the time of your menstruation to help you. And so they don't guide you into correction. They just sit here and give you a management with a band-aid solution. And I'm here to help you with that correction with my program. And so if you are looking for that program, thank you for the follows and the likes, guys. It is linked in my bio, and all my social media is on YouTube and on TikTok, as well as Instagram. And it'll help you be able to know what is fueling your inflammation, fueling that insulin resistance, and to release it and to change your lifestyle and your habits. Because the daily cycle that you are on currently right now is not stable, it's unclear, and it's unsupportive of your body. And if you want to take the next steps towards a stable, clear, supportive lifestyle that is healthy, that is not a diet, but is a lifestyle change through the habits that you have, because we are going to reparent your daily habits by understanding what your lifestyle is, because it's tailored to you, and knowing if you work a 9 to 5, if you're a stay-at-home mom, or anything in between, or anything in above, right? I've worked with women who are in nursing fields. I've talked with CEOs and etc. And everybody has the same issue. The fact that they are told that you are on this path of diabetes, insulin resistance, overweight, and etc. But we are not taught how to have a strategic plan to change it with a protocol. And so they're projecting for you to have diabetes in the future. But if you change the trajectory of where your health is going, your trajectory of your health right now is declining. And if you shift your habits, it will stop declining, and it'll change and shift into a space where not only do you feel comfortable, but your body is able to release, and it'll show and reflect in your labs. It'll show and reflect how confident you can walk into the doctor and not say, you know what, I'm going to leave with another pill today. Because you don't want to leave with insulin. You don't want to leave with a pill. You don't want to leave with a recommendation to see a specialist for a surgery. So if you are looking for a space where you have habits that are shaping your everyday life with your health, or with your everyday habits, with healthy habits, you have to look for my balanced body, not my balanced body program. That's my last program. Excuse me. My metabolic reversal program. This program is not going to give you temporary fixes or band-aids. It's going to give you a full solution of how we walk you through supporting your full body and getting away from inflammation and insulin resistance and releasing the habits that have led you here. Starting with foods, helping your mindset first, foods, and then we're going to get to the part of what people are missing, which is your products. Because a lot of these products that you are using is throwing off your body and causing inflammation to rise. And so, with that being said, I don't have time for questions today because I am I am busy today. I will be obviously I'm always here to answer any questions that you have about my program and my DMs. I will be back because I try to go live at least 3 times a week. This will be posted on YouTube, I think, next week, though. This won't be posted this week. For the people that are here on TikTok that are watching me right now, thank you for all the follows. Thank you for all the likes. I really appreciate you guys. I'm trying to think. I'll be back tomorrow. That is my goal, for me to be back tomorrow. And if not, I'll be back on Friday. I hope that you have an amazing